Grace Court is a seniors apartment that is subsidized, half are subsidized by the region so people can afford to live. As they get older and their income becomes less, they can afford to live there in a place that's kept clean and safe.
In the early 70s, the seniors of Grace United Church got together, and in one of their sessions they decided that Brampton, downtown Brampton, was in need of a seniors building. There were no real facilities for seniors in this whole area, and they formed a committee and of some of the prominent members of the Grace United Church family, and they investigated the idea of donating, getting donors to fund this endeavor. So the family of the Ellie Crawford, they donated a parcel of land to Grace United Church. Subsequently, a corporation was formed, and the names of the board of the members were listed as follows. Mr. John Enns was the new president of this corporation. Carl Enkbertson was the vice president. Marion Rosine was the secretary, and the treasurer was George Clark, who worked at the Downtown Bank, and Mr. Honey, Mr. Arthur Robinson, Mrs. Ethel Mountford, and Russell Roundtree, and Don Waller made up the rest of the board of the new identity as Grace Retirement Community Enterprise. Mr. and Mrs. Arthur Morrison, they subsequently donated an adjacent property to Rosalie Park. It took 3 years for all the requirements to be met for Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, for the conservation authorities, the City of Brampton, and the City Council and the Ontario Municipal Board, and the various committees to reach the final stages of the financing of this project. Because of the location of the proposed building, which is also on the floodplain of the Etobicoke River, extra costs were incurred to the tune of about $400,000. Now, a flood wall had to be created, and with a special foundation. Consequently, the estimated construction cost exceeded the CMHC maximum financial assistance toward this endeavor. So the call went out to the local community for the tune of $200,000 was required to come up with these extra expenditures. This group went to the community, to the church members and the outside community, and the funds were raised to accommodate all the required expenditures. At the beginning, the complex was managed by volunteers from the board of Grace United Church. As the building got older, more work was involved, and it was getting too much for our volunteers, because according to the bylaws, it was a strictly volunteer run organization. No salaries were able to be paid out, and no honorariums were able to be handed out to the numerous volunteers. So the tenders went out to hire a management company. So in the last 20 years, really, the Grace Community Enterprise has been managed by an outside company, and the bylaws have been also amended, so the bylaws have been written up such that other than Grace United Church members can be on the board. At this point in time, there's 11 board members, and out of those 11 board members, 6 are from the Grace United Church and the others are from outside the community.
I became a member of Grace Court, which has been very interesting to me because I've learned a lot of things about the region and about the way the church is connected to Grace Court.
We are one of the smaller housing providers in the area, being only 66 units, and we've had a couple audits done, and we're one of the more efficient and well-run social housing units.
And it's a pretty fantastic thing that Grace Church started this, and it's still going forward. I believe it's over 30 years. I know it's over 30 years.